Now it's time for us to talk about those supplements I mentioned that are best avoided. And normally I don't like to get into kind of negative aspects on things, and I generally tend to just like to steer clear and keep completely away of these kinds of topics. But that said, I do get a lot of questions about some of these kinds of products, and that's why I've included this list in this module. So to start with, the first thing on this list that is great to avoid are diet pills in general. Anything that says it's going to help you lose weight, especially things that say you can lose weight while you sit around and don't change any of your habits, probably it's too good to be true. And diet pills work in a variety of ways, and really none of them are natural. None of them are terribly healthy either. So one form might take is an appetite suppressant, and that is literally just blocking your sense of hunger. Well, to me, this means that you're denying your body food that it needs to recover and, food that it needs to power you through the day. And generally, the appetite suppressants have a really short-term effect. So it's just a good idea to steer clear of them entirely. There's no long-term research on the kinds of effects they have. The next two kinds are carbohydrate blockers and fat blockers. And the idea here is that they stop you absorbing into your body carbohydrates and fat, and they stop a certain proportion of them, I guess. And what that means is they just come out the other end, basically, and they're not digested. Now, this can give you a really upset stomach. I mean, you can get a lot of gas and kind of, it's just not a great situation to feel like you're in. But as well as that, it's so unnatural that you're actually stopping your body absorbing the nutrients you're putting in your mouth. And I think it sets up a really, really dangerous kind of habit where, for example, you might feel like you can eat things that have all kinds of unhealthy things in them, but it doesn't really matter. Now, the big problem with that is when you're eating things that are unhealthy, you're not eating things that are healthy. And it's not like your body just has a natural level of health that it can just maintain without having good quality ingredients coming in. Your body needs the healthy food coming in to continually create that sense of health within your body. So these blocking type tablets or capsules or whatever form they come in, I really, really suggest that you really never go anywhere near them. Now, we've already talked about meal replacement shakes, but I want to put them on the list just so they're here for reference. Caffeine tablets too are a really old but common way of ramping up metabolism, of boosting up, how much energy you need to just exist on the planet from day to day. But caffeine tablets have all kinds of problems, and obviously everyone has their own individual tolerance level to caffeine, but some of the results can be anxiety, inability to sleep, insomnia, and other kinds of effects like that. The other thing too is you can very, very easily become reliant on caffeine, and it can be very, very difficult then to start taking less of it, even if it's not good for your health. Moving on, and metabolism boosters can work in a variety of ways, and that's why I've just grouped them all together here like this. But metabolism boosters in one way or another aim to make your heart beat faster, increase your breathing rate, increase your blood circulation rate, all these kinds of things that mean your body needs more nutrients than what you would normally need just to exist. But the idea behind metabolism boosters is that then you should keep your food intake the same no matter how hungry you feel. So maybe you need to take an appetite suppressant as well, because now you're hungrier because your body needs more food, but you're not feeding it what it needs. As you can see, this is a really vicious cycle, and so that's why I say metabolism boosters are a terrible idea. Now, sleep medications are on this list, and mainly for the reason that a lot of people tend to end up being reliant on sleep medications without actually addressing the original causes. So the original causes could be something, for example, like caffeine, and having too much of it, and it would be better and healthier in the long term to get rid of that caffeine rather than have to add a medication. Obviously, there are other reasons, and periods of great stress and that kind of thing can cause problems with sleep. And I do believe that getting sleep is better than not getting sleep. But I also really seriously believe in trying to find healthy, proactive ways of being able to help yourself sleep a natural sleep. Now, something that might disrupt your sleep is energy drinks. Energy drinks in general, well, we've probably all heard the story about the guy who took a couple of Red Bulls and had a heart attack. In fact, I know someone personally that had that happen to them. But in general terms, energy drinks are a very, very short-term effect, and it's really, really easy to get on that cycle, if you like, that treadmill of needing energy drinks just to get by. Now, what's more, energy drinks, generally speaking, have a lot of sugar in them, but even if you go for the sugar-free ones, they've got all kinds of weird ingredients in them that all have these kind of stimulant, metabolism boosting kinds of effects on your body. And the energy that you have, well, just think about it like this. You're on borrowed time. At some point, your adrenal system, for example, your adrenaline, and everything else that goes along with feeling that sense of energy, it all has to get replenished one way or another. And that's why energy drinks are pretty dangerous kinds of things. Now, next on this list is what's called a nitrous oxide booster. And there are a lot of brand names who are using these kinds of products, or producing them, I guess. Generally speaking, in gym supplements. Basically, that's the range of products that you'll see this in. One example is NO Explode. That's one brand name that you might see, but there are a lot of others out there as well. Now, I'm not going to get into a lot of detail on this, but generally speaking, these are really, really best avoided. They can have a range of negative effects on the body, and they're all the kinds of effects that would, generally speaking, let you know that whatever you're doing with your body is a bad idea. But it seems like some people try and just live through those effects and kind of stay the course and keep taking them and keep training at the gym, etc., etc. So best to steer clear of them. Last on this list, anything that comes under the label of a mass gainer, which you'll probably see in gym supplement sections of shops. And generally speaking, they include a lot of sugar, and if they don't include a lot of sugar, they include a lot of maltodextrin, or they include a lot of some kind of carbohydrate that gets digested quite quickly. And as we know, that's going to have a huge impact on blood sugar, huge insulin effect, etc., etc., the result being a lot of fat gain. And also the other result being you're not getting micronutrients you would from whole food. So I always avoid those mass gainers, and that's why I wanted to mention them here. So that concludes the list of supplements that are best avoided, and that also rounds out our section in this module about supplements in general.